You know, doing these videos, I'm going to have to take the opportunity from time to time to do some housekeeping. And what I mean by that is to state why I'm doing these videos. I'm a truck driver, and sometimes I have to be in hotels. So I find myself with some downtime watching TV, and I look at these reality shows or just something to break the monotony from the news, and they're both equally depressing. And when I see my people on there, I mean, they're looking like caricatures of themselves. And I'm watching the white people standing behind them, smirking and laughing. Here you have beautiful, gorgeous sisters taking men to court. And when I look at these guys, you should be proud to even be in the position to even have this woman pregnant. And you sitting up here denying that you the baby father. And the women don't have a clue who the father is. And the smirks and laughs in the background, when they try to explain themselves in the court of law, they're stumbling over the words, misusing terminology, and you see the white people just, and that angers me. And I look at this and I like, we didn't always act like this. There was a time before we encountered these demons that we were self-governed, self-reliant. We loved ourselves. Every time there was a birth in the community, we all celebrated it. We all mourned the passing and respected them. We revered them. So my motivation for doing this video and all my videos is to get us back to that environment. So that being said, I want to take this opportunity to welcome my family and fellow citizens of the African Order. And I'm here with another video. And the topic of this discussion will be, You Can't Win. You Can't Win was a song performed by Michael Jackson on The Wiz. The Wiz was a black version of The Wizard of Oz. It was a song rooted in despair, hopelessness. The ravens would come down and mock the scarecrow and make him sing the song. And Michael Jackson would say, oh, do I have to sing that song again? And yes, you do. And when you listen to the lyrics, not only do it speak to the day, but it's going to speak 10,000 years from now if we don't get our act together. And when I say we, I mean black people. Because nobody else is going to help us get back to where we were before we were enslaved. No one. When I heard the lyrics, you can't win. You can't get even. You're over your head and you can't even get out the game. That's sad and scary that this is your mindset. You can't win. You can't even get even. You're over your head. And you can't even throw in your hand and say, I quit. They're going to force you to play. And then what added to the despair was how people kept saying things are going to change. but it looked like they're staying the same. Isn't that what we're going through today? How many grandmothers and mothers have told you that? Have things gotten better or have they gotten worse? See, I speak with the same brain and same heart. They speak with the same tongue. I don't battle within myself when I speak about my people. But you can see those who do. They'll blame you. They'll blame anything but the real problem. And it's our association with white people and our dependency upon them. Because as soon as you mention black struggle, they'll either bring up LeBron James, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, somebody. But that has nothing to do with you and your people. So, like I said, I speak, my brain and my heart speak with the same tongue. And I see things for what they truly are. And like I said, this song was prophetic. And one of the most crucial parts of the song was that the feeling that you only had yourself to blame. Like I said, I heard that 5,000 times. And 90% of that came from within my own family. You only got yourself to blame. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You could have did this. You could have did that. I said, really? Well, first of all, I'm not poor by any stretch of the imagination. But I want my people to be more prosperous, because I don't want to be the only one among my people that is doing anything. So this is why I am the way I am. And I'm about motivating my people, and I'm about informing them on how we can do it. And like I said, this song here was prophetic. It was deep. And you can't win if you want to stay within the margins and within the understanding of whites. You'll never be able to win. You got to be able to get out of the margin that whites put you in and reach your own level of understanding. Because as far as white people are concerned, the state that you're in right now, slavery had nothing to do with it. Slavery has everything to do with it, because if our people has never been enslaved, we would not be the way we are today. And if you think being enslaved 300 years ago or 200 years ago don't have anything to do with black people today, you better look through some of my videos. I explained it to you. And if you ever see me, I'll gladly tell you how. But the thing is, you can't win this game or any game if the hope you need to fuel your motivation to liberate your people is coming from your oppressor. Somebody would just get a job. Just, do, and as soon as the white man give you a job, then you think your struggles are over. I look at it like this. For every job the white man give you, there's a business we could have built and developed and hired our own people for that. We don't need white people to give us jobs. We need our people to give us businesses and industries. That's my mindset. And you really can't win if the government that we pay for to reside over our prosperity give grants to businessmen to build private prisons to lock up people while they put bullets into those who try to build up people. These are our government actually investing, giving grants to private business owners who have enough land to build a private prison, which means they need crime in order to keep their prisons filled. So what's the motivation of making this country better if you're investing in prisons that has a mandatory occupation rate? Well, these prisons has to have so many prisoners in there for them to keep their license. So do you see what kind of system this is? You see how backwards it is? And these businessmen, most of them don't even want to pay taxes. So how do these businessmen and the government get so close in the first place? And how do the government get in line with businessmen to lock up the people who actually pay their salary? Make this make sense. So you see, I'm not doing these videos just to hear myself speak. I'm here to try to motivate my people and to show them. Because you're not going to be able to listen to this video, watch it, and call me crazy. You just ain't going to be able to do it. I don't care how much you want to. You know, and you can't win this game or any game if you're more willing to fight and die for a system that oppress you and not fight for a system that will liberate you. We got to get out of this. And the only way we got to get out of this, we got to have a place to go to. So it's not about just leaving. We got to prepare a way for us to go to. So you can't win investing in economic endeavors that grow the business interests of whites, but have no interest in investing in your own business interests. And I don't know how many times I listen to different people, talk about black liberation or doing this for black people and doing that for black people. Well, one of the main instruments or vehicles they want to do is invest in the stock market. That stock market is already owned 90% by the businesses that you already shop at. So putting money in the stock market ain't doing but put more money in those in their hand. And how is that really going to help you? Because as soon as that stock market crash, whatever, couple of hundred, a couple of $1,000 you done put in there is gone. The only way you can use money to get out of the situation if you start building your own financial instruments and financial institutions to oversee our prosperity. Whitey is not going to allow you to use their financial instruments to liberate black people. Now, you can liberate the black person, one or two at a time, but black people as a whole, it'll never happen. And you can't win if you're knowing it's their game. They make the rules, and you don't even want to get out. That's the worst part of it all. Whatever laws they need to further oppress our people, all they got to do is make it. So we have to know this and say, okay, fine. From this point on, now we got to start figuring out a way to get out of this. That's why we have to transition. You can't just, boom, change. You have to transition your way out of here. We got to do what we can right now to stabilize where we at. And then slowly and methodically implement a series of transactions that's going to lead to our liberation. And the more people we get to do it, the quicker we can do it. And the more people we get to do it, the harder it will be for them to stop us. Because as you can see, all you had to do was put one bullet in Martin Luther King, and that killed his whole movement. Kill Malcolm X, decimated his movement. Medgar Evers, just anybody that's trying to do anything for black people, you put a bullet in them, and you look today, we still struggling to pick up from where they started off at 60 years ago. We can't keep doing this. Now, if we want to win, love our people more than you love your enemy, and remain faithful to them. There's nothing worse than starting a movement, and then because you don't see a result by that weekend, you want to scrap it. You got to give it a time to nurture. You got to give it time to grow. You know, we got to put our hopes in our people and remove the hope that we have from whites. They are never going to help you to the point where you don't need their help. They're always going to give you a fish. They will never teach you how to fish. Remember that. If we want to win, we're going to have to establish our own governing body and use them to oversee our own interests. And we have our own governing body, and we have our experts, our gifted master's degree black people. We can have them over our economic interests, our educational interests, our business and institution interests, our self-defense, our future sciences, our social order, and we can all work in harmony, where each branch of our system strengthens you and enables you to reach the next branch. This system here knows nothing about that. Nothing at all. Now, if you want to win, and I think this is the most important lesson of them all, if you want to win, you first got to want to get out of their game. Because the longer you stay here, you will never be able to make the laws. You'll never be able to enforce our laws. We'll never be able to own businesses and institutions to reinforce our laws, to preserve our way of life. We will never be able to do that in this environment where this has to be a totally independent venture. And if we start to service other races of people, they have to be serviced on the fringes. They can never come into our network. Never. So, you can win, but first thing first, you got to want to win. So I'm going to end this video here. And with this video, as with all my videos, It is for the complete liberation of my people. And I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.